Welcome, dear viewers, to On the Go with AAUW, the American Association of University Women. We have an exciting show. We are going to be talking about the National Conference for College Women Student Leaders, a wonderful conference, and we have an organizer of the conference and a couple of recent attendees that are going to tell us all about it. So this is going to be very exciting for us. Our guest is Christine Hernandez.
Hi.
Welcome, Christine.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining us. And you are the manager of the College and University Relationships.
Yep, that's correct, at AUW.
At AAUW. And we have also Kiwe Gomezulu.
Perfect, yes.
Welcome, Kiwe.
Hi.
And you have recently attended the
Yes.
conference.
Yes.
Great. So we're going to be hearing all about that. And we also have Ramaz Abdul Qadir.
Yes.
Okay, very good.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being with us. Thank you for being with us. So first of all, I think we'd like to discuss what the Student Leader Conference is. And maybe, Christine, you're the best one to tell us.
Sure. Well, this conference has been around for almost 30 years. In the last few years, it's been held at the University of Maryland College Park. And it's really the only one in the country that exists like this conference. So it's all about college student women leaders. It's a transformative experience that happens for about 2.5 days, usually in the summer.
Okay, and so it's a national, so people come from
All over. We actually have people who are not only all over from the U.S., but also from other countries. So we had students from Egypt, Jamaica in the last few years. And so it's great to see not only so many different perspectives of students at community colleges, four-year institutions, graduate students, but also students from outside of the U.S. who are really passionate about women in leadership.
Well, it's wonderful, Christine. So it's being held at University of Maryland, but you don't have to attend University of Maryland.
That's correct.
And even community colleges as
Yes.
well. I did not realize that. And Ramaz, so you were a recent attendee.
Yes.
And tell us what you thought about it overall.
Well, initially when I first started the conference, I thought that I was going to, intellectually grow, that I was going to be a better leader. But something more than that happened. I feel like it really has transformed my life. Like, it was almost spiritual in a way. It was just a one of a kind of experience, and I'm so ready to go out there and do what I do best, lead.
So Ramaz, you were already a leader
Yeah.
before you went, and what capacity were you leading?
Well, I attend Northern Virginia Community College, QA and I both. And at my campus, I sit on the Women's Center Governing Board, along with faculty as well as a couple student leaders. I started my own club called CEFL, Coalition for the Empowerment of Female Leaders. And we do different seminars, fundraise for breast cancer, and I try to advocate for the women. And we've had an assertive seminar. We went to VCU for Women, Peace, and War Conference. And we do little things here and there that empower a woman, because when a woman is empowered, then the whole nation is empowered.
Good point. I like the way you think.
Yeah.
And Kiwe, you recently attended
Yes, I did.
as well. Now, were you a leader before you went?
Yes, I was. Northern Virginia Community College has opened a lot of doors for me. As soon as I got there, I wasn't sure of myself as a leader, and I've met some amazing women like Rachel Martin, who has constantly pushed me to come out of my shell, and she's really been an important woman for me since I've been in the country. And through her, I got involved with the honors program, and I'm now the interim honors program president, and I work with the student government as a senator. I work as a student ambassador, and my supervisor is actually another woman who's also been pushing me a lot. And so recently I've been working more as an orientation facilitator in the orientation, in the student ambassador program. So it's me taking steps forward, and it's women who are really pulling me along. And I think kind of going to the student leader conference, having other women who've also kind of taken these strides and connecting with them has been really huge for me.
Great. Well, and I think that leads us to the women who are involved in the presentations and the mentors for you. Your keynote speaker this time around was Chelsea Clinton.
Have you heard of her before?
I've heard of her parents.
She actually does some really great work on her own. She's really, stepped out as a leader in the community. I've seen her in action with the Clinton Global Initiative University and with the Clinton Foundation, and so she's, a very strong leader in that. And if you ever have a conversation with her, you can definitely tell she's really passionate about empowering women and girls in the international community. So it was perfect to have her as one of the speakers at our last conference. And one thing that was really unique, and hopefully you all got that out of the conference too, is that not only did Chelsea Clinton speak, but a student introduced her and interviewed her. And where else do you have that type of opportunity to have an actual student ask the questions that she wanted to ask Chelsea Clinton?
Right.
Which I think I'm very jealous of the student that did that.
And there are a lot of women who attend this, and I understand my first impression was that it was all for very young women, but I understand that they're pretty much all ages attend.
Yep. So like I said, we have students from all different types of institutions. One great example of the diversity that we have at the conference actually happened through some of the student presentations that were taking place. So AUW funded grants to support women in community colleges, both transferring them, but also looking at issues for getting more women into the science, technology, and engineering, mathematic fields, and student mothers. So student parents were supported at this conference. We worked with them to help with their travel arrangements. We were really understanding the fact that they can't be there for the full amount, but we were able to help find childcare and make sure that they were able to get travel arrangements that worked for them.
So the Student Leader Conference is sponsored by NASPA and AAUW.
Yes.
And you work for AAUW.
Yes, I do.
Yes. So you work a lot behind the scenes getting everything ready and running smoothly and
NICWSL, the National Conference for College Student Women
You call
Leaders.
it NICWSL,
We call
right?
it NICWSL. And actually, it's a joke with some of the students every year of, who's Mr. Whistle? It's Nick. Is he that guy? No, that's just how, because if you said the National Conference for College Student Women Leaders all the time, you would be out of breath.
It's a mouthful.
But it actually takes a year of planning for every single conference. And so I'm sure within the next few weeks we'll be talking about one thing and then another, and so it's a monthly discussion of workshops, making sure we have contracts signed for all of the spaces and planning, and it's not one person that plans this conference. It's actually empowering in itself to see the number of volunteers and staff from both AUW and NASPA who put it together, and I don't know where we would be without our NICWSL steering committee, who is dedicated beyond a doubt with the empowering women and girls.
Well, I did look at the website and I looked at all the workshops that were available, and over the 3-day conference there were over 50 workshops that were being offered. How in the world did you decide which ones?
It was
in
really
3 days
difficult.
you had to squeeze a lot in there, didn't you?
Yeah. It was really difficult. But I guess when you go to your first conference, you kind of understand what it is that you kind of want to do next. So that's the kind of mentality that I held in place. Like when I was looking at the different seminars within the different time slots, I was thinking, okay, I kind of understand how to do this. Now I really want to focus on this. But they were really great conferences. They were great seminars. We went to one. It was called the pre-conference. It was before the actual.
So before the 3 days.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, tell us about that.
And it was called So You Want to Be in Politics. And it was an inside tour of the Capitol Hill with a professional tour guide who was also a member of AUW So it was really nice, and it was not just any kind of tour. It was a women, specific tour. So we focused on different women who've, have changed the history of this country. And we saw different statues, and we got to speak to former congresswomen, and she gave us an insight on what it's like to be on the Hill. And then afterwards, we got to learn from 4 panelists that actually currently work on the Hill. And their experiences were so inspiring. Like I couldn't sit in my chair. Like it was just so great. It was raw. It was authentic. Like it was real. It was real. You could feel the passion. You could feel that they truly want to, advocate for the women cause. So.
And that's what you want to. Sorry. And that's what you want to do, Ramaz. You want to go into politics?
I think so.
You
Yeah,
think so?
I'm originally from Sudan, and the politics there is not so great, and we have a dictatorship. So I would one day want to go back and fix the country. So, and the only way I can attain that sort of position is through politics. Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, keep.
No, I was going to add that I think what really struck me about those women is they've achieved so much.
Yeah.
But they were so open to us. A lot of them were very open with the tips and even with their willingness to share. And a lot, like with 2 of them at least, I got their contacts and they were very much willing to meet with me, in the time that will follow. And I thought that was really marvelous. And I just look forward to reconnecting with them and just kind of getting more from them and their experiences.
Great. So you go to workshops, listen to seminars, you have some student participation activities, but then you also network. Now, had you 2 met before you went to the
Yes.
conference?
Yeah.
You had met?
We go to school. We went to school together,
Right.
And we did a lot of the student activities, events together. We're mostly involved in leadership, so that's how we met.
Right.
And when the opportunity came to apply for this conference, they chose us from Northern Virginia Community College to go.
Yep.
So, but it's amazing. Like, we also dormed together, and it was really amazing to see. We would come home so tired. And you'd think that as soon as you open your dorm, you're just gonna sit on bed and just sleep. But we'd stay up till 2 a.m. talking about what we learned.
Exactly.
Like we had notepads and pencils. We're gonna do this. We're gonna change that.
Oh my
and
God.
like every part of me wanted to sleep, but the ambition and the passion, we just stayed up talking. And it's great because you see so many different women who are so similar to you,
Right.
who share the same aspiration in life. And again, it's for the women cause. And when you speak to them, it's a whole different conference. It's a whole different seminar. You feel like you're learning from one another. It was great.
And that's the way it should be. That
Yeah.
is great. And Christine, now there is, like any conference anywhere, there is a fee, a cost
Yes.
for going.
But I always start off when I'm talking about the fee to say that I got my start with AUW and with this conference by receiving a national scholarship to attend when I was a student many years ago, which is always a really soft spot for my heart, just thinking about that first experience and the fact that somebody believes in you enough to want to send you to this conference. So there is a fee associated with it, both for students who want to stay in the residence halls on campus, and then also for local students who may opt to commute each day to the University of Maryland. There is a lower price for that, but we also offer national scholarships to the conference, and then also our AUW branches many times will also sponsor students. So I know that we have students here today who were given a national scholarship or a branch scholarship, which is so wonderful to hear. And of course, you can never, start planning too soon to start fundraising for your attendance.
Yeah.
So there is some funding available for students, and we want to ask our viewers to go to the website and start planning for that next upcoming conference. And you were telling me that this is not just a one-time attendance, that you want to go every year now. Is that right?
Right.
We wish it was 24/7. To be honest.
Well, you
is
got your
so
work cut
true.
out for you, Christine.
Come over.
Yes. Definitely. When we first heard about it, they told us that, there's a scholarship. You have to go on the AUW website, and, you could, there's a link to Nick Whistle, and you click on Nick Whistle, and then there's a scholarship application. And I remember I'd heard about the scholarship early January, and I started my application process then. every day I worked on one question, and I wrote them all out, and then I presented them to my manager, who's also the president of the AUW branch, Miss Danielle Beach Oswald. Amazing, shout out to her. She's transformed my life, another woman of distinction. And and that way we got our scholarship application in, me and QA. And they told us that, if you're not picked by the Nick Whistle Foundation for a scholarship, AUW will sponsor your scholarship. But I'm very happy that I was picked. I was one of 2 students who got a full ride scholarship, as I understand. So that made me feel really proud.
Oh, I bet it did. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I honestly have just been blown away by the women of AID, UW, Danielle,
Yeah.
Oswald Beach being one of them. Miss Lane was
Yeah,
another
Miss
one.
Lane.
They have completely held our hands through this. I mean, it was to the point of giving us a ride over. So they've definitely been supportive, not just in funding our trip, but getting us to and from, and just keeping in touch with us through the whole process. And I definitely look forward to working with the organization a lot more, like moving forward. It's one of those things that you want to pay forward, because it's like, somebody's done something so big for me, I have to give back to somebody else.
Yeah, your enthusiasm is just absolutely contagious, and I can see that as you start moving up and becoming political leaders, and you're going to start working with younger women and pulling them right behind you. Is that
Absolutely.
Definitely.
That's just a no-brainer, and it's so funny you're saying that, because we were talking about how the conference really empowers you, and I think before this, I always wanted to start a nonprofit, and I thought, can I do it? Maybe I should get over my education first, and I'm like, it's now. This is the moment, and it's definitely given me this gift where I've seen young women who are really doing it. They're doing things outside along their education, which are beyond my imagination. I felt adequate in the leadership roles I'd taken on, but I can see that there's room for me to grow. There's room for me to do more, and a lot of that has got to do with giving back to my country, which is Malawi, and I definitely want to get my foot in the door with that project at this point.
Well, that just reminds me of one of the photos I saw that says, don't fear failure.
Yeah. And it's so empowering where for many students, and I hear this a lot, this is the first time that they found somebody else who has the same passion or similar passion.
Yes.
And even as you're talking about what you want to do, starting a nonprofit, one of our Nick Whistle in Action awardees from last year, Ola, who graduated from the University of Maryland, not only started a nonprofit, but within a month after the conference, after she spoke and won the award, she actually gave high school scholarships.
Wow.
Oh, that's amazing.
And it's amazing to be a recent graduate and to already be able to pay it forward.
Yeah.
So we know that there's a lot that you can do, and number one, it's okay to fail, but that you also have the network of Nick Whistle attendees and the community to help support you.
Right.
Yeah.
That's great. So it's kind of readjusted your perspective a little bit that maybe you don't have to wait till you graduate, or you seize the time when it's
and
right.
even as I was talking to a lot of young women, they were supportive. It was, you know what, this is what you want to do? Well, I've done a paper on this, and I've got information on it. And one of the young women, I was like, I really want to work with young women in my country. And she said, well, I know this program with the UN, and this is the contact, take it. And I was like, I'll CC. And she's like, absolutely, here's my number. Let me know, I think this will be a fit for you. And just having women who can do that for you on the spot because they know what you want to do and how important it is to you, that was huge. And that's where I agree with Ramaz, that it's almost spiritual, because you're just connecting with people in a way that you don't get to do on a day-to-day basis. And so that's why it has changed my life. There hasn't been something like this for me before. Definitely.
And I see you have a program.
Yes, I do. Like, if it was hard to get lost with this, I really have to thank them. It's the most comprehensive brochure I've ever
thick.
had. And there's a front page, it's all the instructions, and towards the back they had some questions to help you reflect as you're going through the conference, and just with each talk, just some prompts, just in case you don't know what you want to think about in that moment. It's like, think about this and let it give you some points of reflection. And so I thank them for this book. I'm still carrying it around. I'm adding things to it. I'm taking away from it. And for the workshops that you mentioned, there was like little blurbs almost on each of them. So that helped in kind of choosing. So
the workshops.
This is definitely something worth having.
I thought were quite amazing. Getting noticed for all the right reasons. As women, we can relate to that. Global leadership opportunities of the U.S. Department of State.
Yes.
There's your politics. Lean over, women's leadership across identities. Reaching your goals through the 6 pillars of leadership. Speaking up, direct communication and self-advocacy
Yes.
for women in the workplace.
Yeah.
Take charge of your financial future.
Yeah.
That's a good one, isn't it?
It was.
One of my interns went to that workshop. You know, she was working at the conference. She took all of the paperwork, came to be where we were sitting behind the volunteer desk, and started sharing the information right away, and made sure that she made copies for other staff members who were volunteering. So I know that that one was really impactful for a lot of people.
That's great. That's super. I like that one. And the value of mentoring, helping women excel in STEM. You know, the sciences, technology, mathematics. And what does faith have to do with it?
Yeah.
I thought that one sounded really
Yeah.
interesting as well. So you attend these workshops, you catch on fire, you get the passion, you start sharing it with
Yes.
everyone you know, right?
Yeah.
And then it just catches fire with them as well. Is that
Yeah.
I
what
went
happens?
to one, it was Know Your True Color. And so you had to go through this quiz. And as soon as it was done, the lady directing was like, whoever wants the material, because that was everybody. We all knew we wanted the material. We just wanted to send it out to people we know. Like, I know that now that I've been given more of a leadership role, like with the student ambassadors, I'm like, I want them to know who I am, and I want to know who they are, and so we can all work better as a team. Like, I was thinking about my boyfriend. I was like, he should take it. That way we'll know what colors we are. It's just one of those things that was just, you can tell it goes over a whole spectrum of people, and it can definitely help you. So, yeah, that was huge for me. I really liked it.
Well, speaking of your boyfriend, now, some men do attend. Is
That's true.
that's true?
So men can join AUW. There are many men who are involved with NASPA, and we always have a couple of men who are attendees at the conference. And both of us were in the same workshop together, where we did have a man engaging in the conversations, and was definitely respectful of the space that was being taken in a typically women's only
Yeah.
space.
Okay, great. So, if you were to tell someone, if they should attend this conference, what would you say to them? How would you encourage them?
I would tell them that if you want to recharge to your battery, sometimes you go through the motions, you're a leader in your school, but you get burnt out. You forget why you started in the first place. But if you want to recharge and realize what the purpose is and what will fuel your passion to continue, this is the place for you to be. Like, it will ignite everything that you have, and you will just see that how important this mission is, this purpose. So I would tell them that it's very important they go. If they want an opportunity to grow, they should go. If they want to learn how to be a better leader, they should go. If they want to meet women who are positive, inspiring and ready to go and make a change in this world, they should go. You should go. And if you don't have the money for it, you can apply for a scholarship. There are many ways. There are many things that you can do to, be an attendee of this conference, because it is life-changing.
And what would you say, Kiwi?
I have to, she summed it up so well, but honestly, I was inspired. And I think anybody else who was there was inspired not only by our speakers, who were so generous with their words, and even the time they took after they spoke to meet with us and interact with us, but I'm so grateful for the new friendships I made.
Yeah.
Even that's simple. I have new friends now,
Yeah.
and there are women that I already admire,
Yeah.
who have inspired me, who want to share with me, and I need that. And I'm happy I have it now, and I think anybody else would want that and should want it and should go out and get it. So absolutely go. Go and
Christine,
be
did you-
inspired.
I would just, go with that and say the fact that Nick Wessel isn't just a 2.5-day conference. It really is something that hits you year round. I'm still thinking about my first conference. This is, I think now I'm on my 5th one that I've attended or been an administrator at or been a staff member of. And the people that you meet, the lessons that you learn, they stick with you for a lifetime.
Yeah. Yes.
So, and friends, you stay in touch
Yes.
with them?
Yeah.
One of my favorite memories is Donna Shalala, who was a part of the executive cabinet, President Bill Clinton, who said, look at your friends that you made at this conference on your left and your right. one of you is going to become president of the United States. Stay in contact with them
Yeah.
for 20 to 30 years and make sure that you'll have a job.
Yeah. I think that's right. Yeah.
That's right.
So if you wouldn't mind hiring me.
And you too.
I think we have a president and a secretary of state right here, right at the table. I'm
That
going to
would
be watching
amazing.
you in 30
and
years.
you know, like we were saying earlier, real quickly, don't fear failure. You know, failure stops people from trying more than failure and doubt. You know, if you doubt that you're gonna not try and fail, then you will never try. So we can do it.
Right.
Yes, we can.
Well, and I believe you. You've convinced me, absolutely, that you can do it. Well, I think it's just absolutely fabulous that you get empowered, you get that passion that you need to keep you going and maybe pick you up out of the mundane. Sometimes, you know, it's easy to dream, but, you know, how do we make that dream come true? Or at least try, as you were saying, Ramaz. At least try.
Yes.
What's the worst that can happen to you?
Nothing. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
at least try for it.
Remember when I think it was Katie Hoffman? I'm not really
Patty
sure.
Hoffman?
Yeah, she was saying be prepared. You know, prepare for whatever it is that you want to do. You know, don't just say, oh, I'm going to get my foot in there, but prepare for it. So if you know that you have a dream, take the objectives and take short-term goals to get there. If your dream right now should be to attend Nick Whistle, go out there and try to find every single scholarship that you can get to get there. But again, we should work together, support one another. Every girl that you see that needs whether it may be a motivational word or just telling her, you know, you can do it. Again, sell yourself, you know, tell people that you are as amazing, as wonderful. One of the speakers also shared a poem, and the poem, it wasn't a poem, it was actually a quote by Nelson Mandela saying that our biggest fear is not that we're inadequate, our biggest fear is that we are powerful beyond measures. It is not our lightness that most frightens us, it's not our darkness that most frightens us, it is our light, you know? So if we just take that and go on it, then we'll be amazing.
There you go. Thank you so much for joining us. I'd like to thank Ramaz.
Thank you.
For sharing all your very rich experiences
Thank you for having me.
with us. Delightful. And Kiwe,
Thank you.
thank you as well. And Christine, thank you for all that you do to put the conference together, and thank you for even getting this show put together. You were instrumental in that as well. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And we hope you enjoyed hearing about the Student Leadership Conference, and we need you to start making your plans right away to get to that very next one, because that's going to be quite amazing for you as well. And maybe you'll be a guest on the show at some point, telling us about all your rich experiences as well. And if not, then join us the next time that we're going to be on the go with AAUW.